Today on the BRICS Africa Channel, we're joined by an inspiring trailblazer in the world of engineering and entrepreneurship. Sewela Setshogoe is the founder and the CEO of Lefata Engineering, which is a company that has not only carved a niche in providing innovative engineering solutions, but has also broken barriers in a field where women are still underrepresented. Her journey from a determined dreamer to a leading businesswoman speaks volumes about her resilience, her vision, and a commitment to excellence. As a dynamic leader, Sewela is championing the role of women in STEM fields, contributing to economic growth and reshaping perceptions about what's possible for African women in engineering. Sewela, thank you so much indeed for joining us on the BRICS Africa channel. Welcome.
Thank you, Peter. I'm so delighted to be featured today, having conversations. I've watched you since I was a young girl. It's very interesting to see myself having this kind of an interaction with you.
Oh my goodness, you're
Yeah.
aging me. All right. Let's start with the inspiration behind Lefata Engineering. What was the journey like leading up to it, and what inspired you to start this company?
What inspired me to start the company, I must say, it wasn't something that was a vision or something that I had planned. I sort of stumbled into it. I was a disgruntled employee. And with my engineering background, I thought this is a fantastic opportunity for me to provide services to especially the industrial and mining industries because that's my background. I've got an electrical engineering background, and I worked within mining for a number of years, playing various roles within the technical space. And I just thought to myself, this would be an amazing opportunity for me as a woman to challenge myself and explore the opportunities that the industry offers. Yes,
So it's
there we
one
go.
thing to have an idea, but a whole different ball game to actually get it going. And I suppose you had to develop new skills that you didn't have before or weren't aware you were required in terms of becoming an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. You come into the space and you think, okay, you've got the skill. Let's get it going. But once you actually start your own business, you realize that it's not just about getting the work done, right? It's so much bigger than that. And, as an entrepreneur, you're the one who has to wear all these different hats. You need to know how to manage talent, recruit talent, keep it. The financial element is probably the biggest aspect where I had to sort of unlearn everything that I knew in terms of managing finances and now being able to separate my finances from the business finances. And that's something that is key. I think the financial aspect of running a business, managing your cash flow, ensuring that you're able to finance new projects, also having a budget in terms of how to make sure that you don't run out of cash, because that's probably one of the biggest challenges that a lot of SMMEs face. There are a number of skills that I've had to develop over the years to ensure that I'm able to keep the business going and in order for it to be successful. Even now, I'm still working towards that, studying further so that I can increase those skills and have the business acumen to be able to compete at a higher level.
And the reason I'm asking is because there's somebody probably watching this and is thinking about making the jump. So, did that mean learning on the job, but also studying at the same time?
Yes, I believe that the best way to learn in business is not to be an observer. You have to actually play the field. You need some skin in the game. And a lot of the time, people hesitate to start their businesses because they believe that they need to reach a certain level of confidence, certain level of skills for them to be able to get into the space. But the truth is that you learn as you go, and there's no better way to actually learn. And you will fail a couple of times, but it's about how many times you actually come back and learn from those mistakes.
So, talk to me a little bit about some of the challenges that you must have faced as a woman entrepreneur in the engineering sector, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, I guess the biggest challenge is the obvious one. It's a male-dominated industry, right? So a lot of the time, even when you are even looking for opportunities, the people that are the end users a lot of the time are male. So when you do approach them, a lot of the time they want to actually understand who's actually in charge, because they just naturally biased in terms of a female in the technical space. They naturally believe that there's somebody else who's behind this. So I think that is always the biggest challenge, having to prove yourself consistently, having to outwork your peers that or your male counterparts, because it's just such an unnatural thing to be in this space as a woman and still keep going.
Yeah, and sadly, it's a story that I hear all the time. How do you build up the resilience to keep pushing through, though? Because it can be, I'm sure, discouraging at times.
I think, as an entrepreneur, the main thing is that you need to be very innovative, even in terms of your engagements, even in terms of, the vision, the image that you put out there. So the truth is that I've been able to navigate a lot of the challenges by having a very strong team. I believe that, there's no one person that is able to build up an organization, but having a team that supports you and is in line with your vision, and they understand um, the dynamics of the industry, you are then able to walk into a meeting and they speak on your behalf and they give you credibility before you even introduce yourself. So things like that, they really do count, where you have other people who can reference and say, this is my boss, this is the CEO of the company, this is the person, this is the right person that you're talking to. So things like that, they really do count. They really make such a huge difference, because a lot of the time when you walk into meetings and you don't have that kind of support, a lot of the time the clients, they don't address you directly. They'll address the male counterparts. So for them to be able to give you that platform, it really just makes things so much easier.
So, your company provides diverse services across mining, civil, and electrical sectors. What sets your company apart from others in the same industries?
The truth is that the industry is very much conventional. There's not much that's new that you can bring or offer to this industry, apart from now that we see that AI and technology is really taking center stage, even in terms of, your asset reliability and your Internet of Things and things like that. But the truth is, it's really about the culture of the business, and how we interact with our clients, how we interact with our employees. We are focused on growth and development. Most of the people that I've employed in the business are, individuals that came into the business with absolutely no experience, and they've been able to stay because we gave them that platform, especially in an age where unemployment is such a problem. Uh, it's even more difficult to be employed if you don't have any experience. But we are intentional about developing, especially youth. I believe over 60% of our staff is actually youth. So we are cognizant of those kind of issues. We are cognizant of the environment that we are in, especially in the South African context, and we make sure that we mitigate some of the socioeconomic ills that we face.
I think you've given me some clues in terms of the answers for my next question, because I know that your company emphasizes sustainability and community support. How do these values translate into your everyday business practices?
Yeah, I think it's that exactly. So even in terms of some of the communities that we operate in, we try by all means to hire locally because we feel that we need to make a difference, right? We need to, I think there's nothing more difficult than seeing huge projects or development projects being done in the area that you live, right? And you don't even have access to that, and it doesn't actually make a difference in your life, in your household. And if you think about it, a lot of the mining houses as well, they've they've come under fire in the last couple of years because you find that the communities that they operate in don't transform. They don't actually get that economic benefit of those minerals that are being extracted from those communities. So we are conscious of that, and because we see ourselves, being an industry leader in the next couple of years, we want to make sure that we foster this culture from a grassroots level so that we make an impact. I think people, in business, sometimes you think that it's just about the technical and the finances and all of that, but it's really about being able to operate sustainably within the environment that you're in and being cognizant of all the other things that that all the other customers or stakeholders that engage or are affected by your business. So for us, that is extremely important that we are able to extend ourselves and say, how can we make this community better? Because by virtue of the fact that we are working here.
Okay, so how do we create more Sewelas going forward? I mean, and I guess it starts even just from high school choosing subjects. And I know that you're a STEM champion. How do we change that mindset and get our girls taking those subjects and then becoming entrepreneurs in engineering?
Peter, what I know is that, I mean, this is a widely known problem to actually understand that women owned businesses or women entrepreneurs are underfunded. And the key reason why women entrepreneurs are underfunded is mainly because of the lack of confidence. I mean, and I think that speaks volumes in terms of what is it that we are conditioned from a young age to believe that makes us think that we are inferior in the bigger context of things. So the responsibility really lies, it's not one, it's multifaceted, and it needs to start from home, where we stop playing small as women. We start showing our children. I mean, I'm a mother of 3 girls, and it's important for me to show my children the things that are possible in terms of uh, entrepreneurship and a lot of other things. I mean, I'm embarking on my first Comrades Marathon in 2025. And I've been training for that and I've qualified. But things like that, they make, the children, the young people that are involved even in the business to realize that, okay, but we can do this. There's so much that we can do. There's so much that we can offer as females. So being able to find people that can inspire you, that people that are also pushing the boundaries is a very important aspect of that. And just enforcing that confidence in the children from a young age, not forcing them to play with dolls if they want to play with cars instead. Do you get what I'm saying? We need to be able to say we are all equal and we all have something to offer. It's not about your sexuality. It's about how you apply yourself and the skills that you gain, how do you use those to actually build something of value? And really it's about always just enforcing that from schools, from home, from different organizations, especially from a young age, that is extremely important.
So this is the BRICS Africa Channel, and I just wonder what BRICS means to you, what it means to your business, and how it can help, especially now that we're seeing more African countries joining the BRICS grouping, and South Africa having been there for some time already.
Mm. Sure. I think for me, it means so much in terms of the growth and the development of our continent. I think it's very important to understand that we are actually in an amazing position as Africa. Being underdeveloped, there are a lot of opportunities that come with that. Being also a very young generation, it means that there's so much that we can offer. Um, Industrialization is an important part of economic development. I believe that forming alliances with countries like China will give us that opportunity to really industrialize Africa. And that is a positive thing in terms of not just the economic development, but just the growth of Africa as a continent. So I believe that there are amazing opportunities that will stem from that. We're already seeing some development projects that are coming along, and we believe that we need to align ourselves to be able to compete on a global platform in that manner, being able to also expand our business into other parts, developing nations. That is very key. But I really do believe that it is definitely going to really shift the focus from the West and stimulate growth in the underdeveloped countries of our region.
So, you've been in business since 2018, and I guess everybody had a little bit of a pause during COVID. But now you're an established entity. What's your vision and dream for the next 5, 10 years for your company?
We see ourselves being an industry leader within the engineering and construction space. We do see ourselves, being a household name and growing exponentially into other parts of Africa as well. And we see ourselves also going into the more embracing technology, especially we've seen that there's a huge gap in terms of digital transformation within largely the mining industry, and we want to offer products and services that are able to mitigate that because in the PGM sector we have found that a lot of mining houses have sort of taken a step back in terms of even their capital projects and are focusing on cost savings. And a large part of mining spend goes towards maintenance and replacement of production equipment. So this presents a very good opportunity for engineering companies like mine to say, okay, hold on, but how can we assist you to ensure that your production equipment is more efficient, it's more reliable, and can actually allow you to save costs and make your organizations much more productive and much more profitable. So we do really want to position ourselves, of course, in a way that because we want to remain sustainable for such a long time, we need to also find new products and services that are within the growing industries. So yeah, that's us.
And perhaps as a final question, what advice would you give to young African women looking to enter the engineering and entrepreneurship spaces? Maybe even what advice would you have given your younger self at the beginning of this journey?
Um, I think the advice that I probably would have given myself is just go for it. Don't overthink it. Go for it. And never allow not knowing to hold you back. We all have to start somewhere. Um, Embrace the journey. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to speak up and say, you know what, I need help. I need someone who's going to assist me to do this. Um, but most of all, just be bold. Be bold and don't be afraid to go out and get the things that you want.
Sewela Setshogoe, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so, so much indeed for sharing your inspiring story with us on the BRICS Africa channel.
Thank you so much, Peter. I really appreciate the invite. This has been an amazing interview. Thank you so much.